Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Anthony Tennyson from Awakn Life Sciences. How are you today, Anthony?
I'm really good, Tracy, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here to speak with you and your audience.
Well, I'll tell you, you have hustled a superior group of managers and board members. You've just launched on the NEO exchange, and it's my understanding that Awakn is planning on becoming a biotech company with clinical operations that develop and deliver psychedelics to better treat addiction. That's the cell line your top brand awareness expert has informed me that is how to describe Awakn. But what we would like to know is how you would like to describe Awakn.
Listen, what we do is we're a biotech company, and we do two things. We develop and we deliver psychedelic-inspired drugs and therapies to better treat addiction. That's it. The reason that we're doing that is between 15 and 20% of the UK, EU, US, and Canadian population suffer from an addiction at any one time. And the current industry that's meant to be helping them is not as effective as it should be. And there hasn't been an innovation in addiction treatment in many, many years. And we're going to change that.
Okay, well, that's incredibly exciting. And, we're hearing this. We want to believe you, but many of us in the markets have been inundated by a lot of marketing propaganda from the cannabis sector. So I'm just going to put you on the spot and say, why do you believe that the psychedelic industry, your Awakn will be a biotech, why you think you have that competitive advantage and why you believe you'll actually be able to deliver? We have a big baby boomer audience, so we are curious.
Tracy, great question, and I enjoy being put on the spot. There's two real reasons why we are different and why we'll be able to deliver and execute upon our purpose. And that's our team and the research evidence that we have brought into the company and that we are bringing forward. We have got the best team in the world focused on the development and delivery of psychedelic drugs and treatments to better treat addiction. We've got Professor David Nutt as our head of research and the chair of our scientific advisory board. David is the global authority on psychedelics. He's a neuroscientist. He's the current chair emeritus in the Department of Psychopharmacology in the University of Imperial in London. But he is a global authority on psychedelics and addiction, alcohol addiction, opioid addiction, and gambling addiction. Undisputed heavyweight champion in the world in this field. We've also got Professor Celia Morgan, who is the global leader in ketamine research for alcohol use disorder. She just led the world's only trial for ketamine-assisted psychotherapy for alcohol use disorder, the results of which will be published in the American Journal of Psychiatry in the coming weeks. And lastly, and by no means least, we've got Dr. Ben Sessa, who is one of the global authorities in the psychedelic space. And he ran the world's only trial for MDMA-assisted psychotherapy for alcohol use disorder. So that's the team, but we've acquired both the teams and the assets from those clinical trials that show early promise that psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy is better at treating addiction, specifically alcohol use disorder, than the current treatment methodologies that are available to individuals and their families who are suffering from a very, very serious condition.
Our audience loves it when I'm corrected, Anthony. So fantastic. And just as an aside for everybody out there in InvestorIntel land, we did some research on the neuroscientist, Professor David Nutt. And he's published over 400 papers. And frankly, by all accounts, seems to be one of the smartest brains on the planet. So can I ask you how you managed to get such an incredible, scary, smart club basically on your team for a company that's just newly listed? What is it that you guys actually have that has this group so interested in Awakn?
Yeah, so listen, like our team is a significant differentiator. It's the best team. It's the best team that's actually the best group of people I've ever had the pleasure to both work with, but actually just to spend time with. And David is one of the nicest people that you'll ever meet. He's also, as you say, a very, very intimidatingly large brain. But he is with us, as is Ben, as is Celia, as is Dr. Laurie Higbed, as is Dr. Sean McNulty. They are with us because they believe. They believe that psychedelics can deliver hope for individuals, families, and their communities who are suffering from some serious conditions. Alcohol use disorder affects 5% of the global population. There is a 70% relapse rate with the best treatments available within the first year. And so David, Ben, Laurie, Celia, and Sean are with us because they know we can potentially solve these problems.
Well, I'll tell you what I would like to do, Anthony, is I'm going to welcome you to the market. We're going to follow you with great interest. We're going to ask you to come on regularly and win us all over, one compelling argument at a time, because we as well would like to believe. Thank you for joining us today, Anthony.
Tracy, thank you very much for having me. It was an absolute pleasure.